623 show.
Welcome everyone to this week on the 6873 show. We're going to actually have a little bit of a different show today, especially with a lot of world events happening and especially with things that's happened in the past recently. We decided to do a little bit of an episode on basically preparedness, what to have in your car, tips and tricks, and basically for the shit hit fan scenarios. Basically want to make sure that you guys stay safe, stay alive, and prepared for any kinds of situations. So this is going to be a little bit different show, especially with our last show. We figured it would be a good subject to have. So anyway, my name is Captain Ren. The other hosts of the show this week are, of course,
Ion and this foxy little thing over here.
Rossi! How you're doing?
Rossi.
But so anyway, we did one. That was a bad. That's what we call a bad pass off.
Pretty much, yeah. But if you want to continue, real quick.
Who am I? What am I doing here?
Who are these people?
We get it. I get it. I'm stuck between two gray-haired people. I get it. It's understandable.
Alzheimer's kicked in early.
You need some. We need to get you. Someone get this man a water.
I need milk. I need milk.
Milk. Give this man some milk.
It's annoying. I would play the sound font, but unfortunately, PC setup is going. So I'm having to use Quest.
But anyways, back to what we were talking about.
So anyways, a lot of people don't know this. I have alluded to it a few times on the show, but I am kind of one of those prepper people. I literally have over a year's supply of food on a mobile platform ready to go at any moment. Crazy lunatic. I have. That is true. I'm the crazy guy that shit up in the woods. But I have enough. I could literally leave right now, go up in the mountains now, and survive for almost indefinitely without any problems. So I do have a little bit of experience. I do a lot of research. I actually do a lot of bushcrafting. Usually a lot of times there for a long time, except for very recently, I would actually go out and spend 3-4 days just living off the land as a hobby. So that's kind of my experience with this. I do know.
Quick
question. Yes, go ahead.
Bushcrafting. Now, is it what I think in my mind, or what is it really?
We're not talking about muff.
Dirty bastard. You dirty bastard.
You mean fishing for clams?
Yes, that is the one.
As long as we don't get clam slammed, I'm good, okay? I choose life.
I like to live dangerously.
So do I.
I mean, hey, fucking hell, I've been married nearly 20 years, so...
Not much scares you after that. Just not much scares you after that.
No, after year 13, that's when you start to question, because if it's on Friday the 13th of your 13th year of marriage, you need to really question your life.
That is true.
Yeah, it wasn't on the 13th.
Okay, good.
But it was close. So, yeah.
Anyways.
What is,
however, my daughter was nearly born on the 13th.
Okay, that would have been cool.
And it was a Friday.
That would have been cool.
Friday the 13th, baby.
It would explain a lot. Love you, darling.
Hi, darling. Anyways, but yes, as Rin tried to pass over the torch to me before we started going on a laughing fit over here, there's a lot of things within military rank and like military gear that you do need to keep on you at 24/7. In the back of my car, I usually keep a few med kits, emergency med kit, a fire blanket, because you may never know when you need one, especially since you're on a
Exactly.
highway at nearly Mach 10 speed. No, kidding. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of things, and the most weirdest thing I would say that I have in my glove box that I would personally keep at all time is tampons.
No,
Yes.
I have heard about that actually. I've heard about tampons being kept in the glove box for emergency things because wasn't it something about they work as well basically it absorbs blood and things like that.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Mhm.
the main component, like most women know, is that they're meant for the menstrual cycle. But really, in like a battlefield situation where you get shot, having one of those suckers put into your wound is the most pain relieving thing in the world. Because you can
Exactly.
literally
Well,
have that
thing
in for hours and it will stop bleeding for hours.
that is literally a lifesaver right there because I mean, if you have certain wounds, like for instance, a gunshot wound, I mean, you can bleed out within what, like 35 seconds. That popped in the
Depending.
wound almost instantly can, depending, yeah, can literally save your life right there. Another thing is learning how to use a tourniquet, even if it's a
Yes.
piece of string with a small piece of metal, or even if you have to get a branch stick. Ratchet down, learn to use it. Do you remember on it if you do use a tourniquet? It's not the idea of cutting off blood flow, and also to loosen it. What is the normal requirement? Every 20 minutes, loosen it up, let it sit for about 10 seconds, and tighten it back up.
10 to 20, depending.
Mhm.
Depending on how bad the injury is. The most you would want to wait is at least 5 minutes, loosen it, then retighten.
Mhm.
5 seconds, sorry. Brain fart day, brain go burr, burr, go burr. But yes, with that type of thing, you really don't have the necessary things you need, like something to cover up and wrap up your arm. Some people don't
Yeah.
have that kind of thing on hand. But the most easiest thing to do, and it will probably embarrass you for the rest of your life, man or woman, depending on the situation, ripping your shirt apart and using that as a wrap instead of using like a pair of jeans or an actual emergency cloth pads.
Mhm. Anything in a
Because I've had to
situation.
do that a few times in public, and people question me, is like, why are you taking off your shirt? Shut up and watch. Wrapped someone's arm up whenever they broke their arm.
I am the Hulk.
Yep. Exactly. Well, the thing is in a situation you have to don't be afraid to be creative. Like I say, one of the things too, I highly stress is to go take a basic medical training course. You learn to use an AED. One trick with an AED too, if you do have a female, yes, go ahead, Rusty.
What's an AED?
It is a heart AFib. So it's like the
what?
pads you see, the shock. So if someone goes in, let's say,
Oh,
cardiac arrest, you put the pads on
with
their
the
one here,
pong.
one on their side, and literally
Yes,
the nice thing
yes.
is the new
Yes,
ones will
the
literally
shocky
walk
boy.
you
So
through.
yeah,
Mhm.
we call it something different over here.
Oh, what
I
do they
call
call
them
it
the
over there?
shocky
remember
boy
what they
because
call
you
it.
can just go clear.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is these new ones that you'll see in like any department store or any public area will literally open it up, it turns on, and it will literally vocally walk you through how to use it.
Yes,
Ironically,
and
I'm actually
that's the
trained to use
one.
one of those.
And the one
Yeah.
thing that I do not like
Mm.
about that is because if you have a dead unit, you're fucked.
Hmm.
If they've
Well,
got a dead
that's one thing
unit,
is
then
it.
whoever's responsible for dealing with that unit needs shooting. Because all of the units in the UK that are put out are checked regularly and constant to make sure they're in use. And
See,
also, you have to have a
We
PIN
will
code
have
to get
to.
into them.
I'm gonna have to put this on pause real quick.
Mhm.
I have to go check on someone real quick, but we can continue. You two can continue right now. I'll be right back.
okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing is here in the States, they are, I think it's every 6 months to every year they have to be certified. But unfortunately, I have worked at a lot of different places where, in fact, the dock that I worked on, this is literally a maritime dock, and their AED hadn't been checked in 2-3 years.
Oh God, yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that's not right.
And but by actually by law, and it's even stamped on it. They're supposed to be checked every 6 months to a year. But one thing
Yeah.
too, if you do have to use one, if you do have a female victim, I don't care if it looks like a sports bra, take the bra off, because a lot of them will have metal in them, and if that thing has to shock that person, that thing will glow red and burn into them.
Oh yes.
So that's one of the first things that we learned is I don't care what it is, what situation, it's their life on the line. Rip the bra off, put the pads on, charge the unit. But
naked
if they
skin.
have any kind of pad, no metal,
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
chance of metal.
well, I did a first aid course. It was actually for one of my previous jobs. They put me down as one of the first aiders, so it was an emergency first aid. And although we weren't technically supposed to learn how to use those, they did add it into our course just because they said it'd be stupid not to. And yeah, like you say,
Exactly.
we had to do that with the fake dummy on the floor and pasted it on there. We even had to put like a fake T-shirt on it and things like that. And they said, I don't care, just rip that T-shirt off and put the pads in the place that say set the machine, and it'll go beep beep, blink, and yeah, it did all these funny noises and brr noises. It was quite interesting.
Well, I mean, there was about a month ago, we had to use AED on a female, and she was wearing a sports bra. So the thing that came off ripped off.
Have I broken?
Did we break? Yeah.
This is why I can't take you seriously with some of these subjects. It's like you make these little goofy noises go.
It's because I'm British.
Yes, back off, you spooky bitch.
You fucking
Anyways.
what, mate?
You fucking what, mate?
What, mate?
Anyways, sorry about that. I came back and I heard the boo-doo-doo-doo. I'm like, nope, I've lost it. I'm done. Nope. But the last thing we were talking about was the emergency kit. Whenever I left, what did I come back to other than Rozzy being goofy?
Using the AED and the importance to make sure that there is no metal touching the skin.
Oh God, yes. Okay? I've actually seen someone do that before. They had like a metal cross pendant, and you could literally see the syringe of the actual cross on their body because they forgot to take it off them before they shocked them. It was horrendous. Side. It sucked. But
well, here's another thing.
They didn't realize it. They were not properly trained to use them.
One thing that
and it drove me crazy.
Yeah, it does. One thing that a lot of people, I don't know, have the stigma now of carrying, and it's the most basic piece of kit you can carry with you, and that is literally just carry a knife with you.
Yes.
There's literally 100,000 different reasons. Exactly. Probably not that big, but
okay, the one I have that I currently... Yes, you have a giant pointy stick. We got you. But the thing is, many people at my current job don't realize that I do carry. I always keep something on me, like a knife, a gun, or something. And one of the coworkers saw my knife on my actual boot where I keep it all the time. And they asked me, "Is like, why do you have that? You're not supposed to have that." I looked at them straight back in the face. Was like, "Do you want me to help you with shit?" If this bitch gets robbed, do you want me to just here's the money, just fucking walk off? No, I'm gonna fucking retaliate and look at you like you're fucked up. You fucked up
Well, I mean,
majorly.
it's not even. Yeah, it's not even just for. I mean, self-defense is definitely one venue of it, but it's a tool for literally 100,000 different uses. For if you have to disrobe someone, if you have to pry something open, if you have to get into anything, having a knife is the most basic tool, multi-use tool you can have. Rusty?
Yes. Now,
Yes.
here's the difference. People. Oh,
Having a knife, like a multi-tool sort of knife, yes, that doesn't mean you run around carrying a machete.
okay, this is Florida. We have different rules.
But that does bring up one thing. So what I learned in a lot of the survival training that I went through is, you get a lot of these new people in survival, and they're gonna go big Rambo knives and stuff like that. But did you know that the most useful knife you can have in the bush anywhere is a knife 6 inches or under?
Yes.
Anything over that, the blades can break. They're not useful. The only thing you'd carry a big blade for is literally for chopping wood.
Yes. That's like me. Underneath my driver's seat, I keep a hatchet. Because a few years ago, y'all have heard me talk about this before on the show, that we had a hurricane come through called Hurricane Michael. It was a category 7, which I did find out because they later categorized it as a 7 instead of a 5. But there was trees down and everything, and this is whenever I had my old Pontiac. I literally had 2 of them suckers, and one in the trunk and one underneath the driver's seat, and the neighbors just looked at me and was like, how the fuck are we going to get out of here? I went out to my car, pulled out both of them, and said, get to work.
Exactly. Well, okay, so me being a mariner, one thing that, because we're all about, redundancies and contingencies and stuff like that. On land stuff, they think of it differently. On boats, it's just a common thing, but we have on a boat something called a ditch bag. So if something hits that boat and that thinking within a minute, you grab your ditch bag and you run.
The funny thing is, I found one of those at my work, and it came out of a plane instead of a boat.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we have this? Well, you may never know. I looked at it and was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This thing doesn't have half the shit we need. It has an inflatable raft on it. Yes, that's cool. That's nice to have. But we're on land. Where the fuck are we gonna need that?
Those puddles get
Be
deep.
prepared for this. That is true. Well, like even the hurricane, I mean, inflatable boat means the difference sometimes of getting somewhere.
That's true because we did have Hurricane Katrina that basically wiped out most of New Orleans, and that kind of made it a big flood situation. So that's kind of understandable at that point, but I didn't think about it at the time. But having that would be beneficial. But where I work at, we're at the highest point. We're at one of the highest points where we can't get flooded. But you can probably put it in a pothole.
Was like, okay, so one thing that in fact I have it not right, I actually keep it right by my bed from living on a boat for my ditch bag, is I have what I call my bug out bag. It's basically a land version of a ditch bag. And if the place I work at, whatever, catches on fire, I can grab that and I can just run. And above, my emergency essentials, which I have food, I have basic survival essentials, I have everything I need, but I also have copies and everything of all my important paperwork, everything that I might need, all my important backups of my paperwork, everything is in a folder inside of there also. So if I have to get out with just that bag, I have everything I need.
Now, the one thing that I did that's a little bit different from what you did, instead of having a physical paperwork, I have 2 16 terabyte hard drives. of all my personal information, my banknotes, my personal information, more of my personal information, and a lot of things that have happened in the past, like car titles, boat titles, golf cart titles, and all that. So if anything does get stolen or goes missing or catches fire, I'll have the insurance card right then and there.
Yep. See, I
But
do
then
something
I
like
have
that.
it in
So
a bag.
on my I have a sterling silver necklace, and I have a really pretty. It looks like a piece. It looks like a pendant, but it's actually a thumb drive. And I kind of do the same thing. I have digital scans of all of my important paperwork, family photos, important, like some of my favorite movies and stuff like that. I have everything literally backed up on that necklace that I wear on my neck all the time.
Now,
This is porn
have y'all
history,
seen
really.
the credit card USBs?
Yes,
The American
I've got one.
Express cards that you can use like a USB. Yeah. I actually have 2 of those with family photos and not so personal documents that I keep with me at all times.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I got
if I
mine
was to get
free when I went to
arrested,
the motorbike show.
if I was to be arrested and they needed like a digital copy of my ID or anything, I have it right on that USB in case someone steals my ID, my social security, and all that. I have that as a backup.
Well, it's like it doesn't have to be a major situation. Like for my bug out bag, I have it literally by my bed, and let's say a hurricane happens, the place burns down, whatever. I can grab that bag, and I literally
And just
have
run.
everything that I need in that bag. Yeah, if that bag
You
was
can
me
just run.
is with me, I have everything I need. I have everything. I have 2 changes of clothes. I have basically everything I need to survive for a minimum of 3 days in that bag.
Now,
2
the
changes
one
of
thing
clothes.
I
Does that
do.
mean you've got 2 pairs of underwear as well?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So you've got underwear that'll last you 4 days then.
Well, I mean, I can count that to a month if need be.
Yeah,
Back to front, inside out, back to front again.
Exactly.
But the thing is that a lot of people diss something in the military that is basically the lifeline. MREs.
MREs, yes.
What's an MRE?
Meals ready to eat. It's basically pre-packed food that is dried or been completely had all moisture taken out of it. All you have to do is, like, if you get the same one I had a long time ago is a spaghetti one. You had to literally open a bag that had a preset heater in it. As soon as you cracked it, it started heating everything in it. And
They're
you just
actually
added
pretty
water to
tasty.
the spaghetti. Yeah, they're actually pretty good. But
I've
living
got to-
off of them
I've
for
just
3
got to say
months
this.
kind of sucks.
Jesus, I've got to say this. Fucking hats off to you two. If you two have to have this survival bag set up scenario and several different types of survival bags for being in America, I'm so fucking glad I live in the UK. All we've got to worry about is Gary the sheep escaping from the local fucking field. No, Gary, fuck off back to the farm. Fuck off,
Back
Gary.
to the farm. Back off.
Otherwise, I'm going to get the fucking mint sauce out.
But even in a country like yours, and just like my Mrs. Toki, which I love her to death. Don't kill me, honey.
Simp.
But
the
thing
old
is,
saying is shit happens, and it can happen
yes,
anywhere.
shit happens. It can happen anywhere, at any time, at any place. For a matter of fact, let me bring up a tragic one that happened here in the U.S. 9/11.
Yep.
On that day, there was over
Terrorist attacks, acts of
255.
nature.
Yes, there was over
Anything.
250 ambulances, over 3,000 firefighters, and over hundreds of medical staff on hand at that situation. The dust didn't clear out 3 days later. And you could literally still see people walking out covered in ash from just the buildings themselves. And it was the most scariest time, and that's when America finally said, they pulled up their pants and looked at everyone and said, hey, get your shit right, get this medical team on staff, pay them what they need, and actually give them what they need. And that basically changed a lot for today's medical assistance within the U.S.
Yep. But the thing is a situation like that can literally happen anywhere at any time.
Mm.
Especially with how unstable things are getting in the world right now. It's not having a basic contingency, not having basic contingency plans, gear, medical training. Honestly, I'm sorry, it's foolish.
It is. But we physically, us three, cannot physically control what happens in this world.
Mm-hmm.
All we can do is
But we
take
can
the
control
world
our
with a
own
grain of
situations.
salt.
Mhm.
Yes, but we can take this world with a grain of salt and just look at everyone as like, hey, try to be good, don't cause drama, and at least live life.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is too, for like, I know this is a bad thing for a lot of people I know. Is they say, oh, if something happens, I'll just depend on someone else to help me. It's like, that's not really smart, because you can either some major thing happens, your life is on the line, you can sit there and twiddle your thumbs that I hope someone saves me someday, or you can be the instrument of your own rescue. And the thing is during that you can actually maybe help save someone else's life too.
Hey, I'm used to looking after myself.
Which is why
I'm a biker. So.
Okay, Rozzy, I'm gonna put in a situation here. I know you're a biker, and if you know the 3 signals that will basically trigger anyone who is a biker: helmet on the ground, 5 feet away from it, a bike laying on its side, and a biker that was just hit. What is your first instinct to do?
Check the bike's all right. Sorry.
That would be my plan. That'd be my plan.
No, because this actually happened to me yesterday.
Yeah,
that happened to me yesterday. I saw a bike. I saw a bike laying on the ground with the helmet 5 feet away from it.
Yeah.
I actually was going about 70, 80 miles an hour, and I had everybody way the fuck behind me. I slammed on my brakes, got out, and checked if they were okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's a good thing I did, because he was actually having a heat stroke while on his bike.
Shit, yeah. Yeah.
And I stayed there, got him some water and everything to help him.
Something I will say to people, because people did it to me when I came off my bike: do not remove their helmet.
Yes.
Do not.
Yes.
The helmet is there. You keep it on. The only time you remove their helmet is if you can clearly see that the helmet is causing obstruction to their breathing or anything like that. You do not move the helmet. If you move the helmet, you can cause them more damage, because if they've got a broken neck, you just cause more problems with the neck. And also, if they have damaged their skull or anything, the helmet is holding it together. So
yes,
do not remove the helmet.
And that's why that literally every time I see it, it's common around here, because we are known for Biker Week. And I've seen literally bikers just lay there. You can't tell shit what's wrong with them. And I've literally walked up to 2 of them, and they said, "Do not touch." I'm like, well, that's fine. I'll pick up your bike and move it out of the road.
Best thing to do if they're led in the middle of the road is try and get the traffic to go, divert the traffic. Obviously, check they're okay, check their breathing for the emergency services. Don't try and move them unless you can clearly see there is no other way to put them in a safer place.
Yes.
But otherwise,
now,
the best
I
thing
would say
try and divert the traffic.
The one thing I can say that I did have to physically move someone out of the road, even though they told me not to, is because it was on a busy-ass highway. I had to get them out of the road. It would have caused more damage for him to be on it.
Yeah, well, busy highway, if a highway is like the roads I think they are, yeah, you're going to have cars freaking zooming past and everything that they ain't going to stop in time. It's just going to go boom, 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 straight over the top of him. So, yeah, you probably did the right thing there.
I did the right thing at that time, but later on I got a call from their lawyer saying they asked you not to move him. Like, dude, you were in the middle of a busy-ass highway. I'm not going to risk someone else's life. I didn't give a fuck. I wanted you out of that traffic.
That
Yeah,
actually
And
also
brings on
the
to
Good
something that
Samaritan
annoys
laws.
the crap out of me with some people is there was a report I saw where it was actually a paramedic had saved this girl's life. She was actually drowning in a pool, and this paramedic happened to have been there for another reason. Saw her drowning. He dived in, got her out, and she was
Oh, I
not
remember
breathing.
that.
He did CPR and all that lot, got her breathing again. She tried to fucking sue him afterwards because she didn't give consent to saving her life. And I was like, fuck you, you
No
dumbass
kidding.
bitch. That's
Mm-hmm.
his job.
and that is a job that people do take seriously, like I do on here. I take care of
Mhm.
people who don't want the help, but I still do it to
Well,
help them.
see, here in the States, I think they have a like one there in the UK too, but here in the States, we have something called the Good Samaritan Law, which basically it protects you if someone is in a life or death situation,
Mm.
you do render assistance,
Yes.
you are legally protected under the Good Samaritan Law.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I did my first
I
aider
only had
course,
to use that
they
card
actually
once.
insured me.
Mhm.
You're actually insured for up to something like, it depends on the type of course you do. The one I was on wasn't technically for public use, but it did cover you for public use if you did have to do it because it was
Mhm.
mainly for the workplace. But I think I was insured for something like, I don't know, £180,000 or something ridiculous. You know, basically it was a case of if anybody tries suing you, don't worry, we got your back.
I wish they had that here in America. Shit.
No kidding. Oh, one
Well,
thing to keep in your bags too, and this will sound funny, keep a deck of playing cards or a domino set or something like that because a survival thing is usually about 90% mental.
yes.
And a lot of times when you get, especially when you get around, if you're trapped or you have to sit in an area for a long time, you're in a group of people or something like that. Like if you have a group of people and they're going to start talking, they're going to have things going in their mind, throw a deck of cards and then get them playing a deck of cards. Or if you're trapped alone, having something to do can mean a lot.
Yes. Because life
So
doesn't
when
always revolve around your phones, too.
exactly.
Because in certain situations, you may not have it. Having a deck of cards, dominoes, a game called, what was it? Oh, God. It's a dice game, but it's a different form of game that will help you distract your mind during a very intense situation if you have to evacuate a certain
Exactly.
area for a certain amount of time.
So
I know a
one
game to play
thing
with
for
dice,
me,
but
like
usually it involves
for
alcohol.
Well, I
so
think
okay,
we've
like
reached our
oh,
limit.
go ahead.
I think
Yeah.
we've reached our limit for the video today. Well then, gentlemen,
Have we?
hopefully this does reach out to people out there that does have a situation that does go on, and hopefully we brought a little bit more news and enlightenment to whatever you can do to help yourself within the future.
One
And
thing I
if you
will
have
say,
any questions about anything, oh, go ahead, Rusty.
I was just going to say, something I've learned to always carry with me. You can buy them fricking anywhere. Is get yourself a little first aid kit. Just fucking get one.
Yes.
They don't cost much.
Yes.
I carry one all the time on the bike, all the time with me at work, and that's irregardless of whether I was a trained first aider or whatever. I always used to, and
Okay.
like you say, multi-tool, things like that.
Okay, I got a serious question. It's about your bike. Do you have the in-seat storage, or do you have the side pouches?
I've got a little bag that clips to the tank bag.
Oh, so
I
you're
have got a
like
top box as well.
Nice.
okay, top box.
And well, I do have saddlebags if I want to put them on as well. But basically, most of the time when I'm out and about, I just ride around with my little. I've got a little sports bag that it just clips to the tank, and in that I've got a first aid kit, a couple of tools in there just in case stuff happens. I've got tools under the seat, but it hasn't got a big enough compartment for better tools. It's just the ones that come with the bike. I've also got added things like there's a kit you can buy. It's if you've got a cable, clutch, and brakes and things like that. It's a replacement cable. So basically, if that snaps, because I have had a bike that has happened to me before. I went to pull the clutch in and it went ping. It's like, oh shit.
Yep.
Clutch not working now. and it's just a temporary cable until you get to where you're going.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
really handy, and it only costs
Self-rescue.
about £5.
$5.
Mm.
Well,
£5.
everyone.
£5.
Well, one thing I do want to, if anyone out there has any questions about anything we talked about here today, if you want to have a list of what we have in our loadouts in our bug out bags, what to have on you, if you want more in-depth details of what to have in a bug out bag, what to have in a prep bag, what to have in your car, if you have any questions about where to get training, please reach out to us. Please contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you with any questions you might have. I can give you an itemized list of what I have in my ditch bag, and I'm sure Ion can give you do the same thing for you for military perspective. Rossi has literally thousands and thousands of miles on a motorcycle, which is one of the best things you can have for in a survival situation, simply because it can get in and out of situations. Doesn't take a lot of gas. Learn to ride. So I'm sure Rossi can help you with anything as far as mobile, but please reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever.
And I can help you sort
Yeah,
out Gary
and
the sheep.
And the one thing is, don't carry big if you have to evacuate. Carry
Well, that's
light.
the one thing that I was always taught is if you don't have it with you, you don't have it.
Yep. Well, everyone, I think we've reached our verdict for the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ion with the 6873 show, and I will catch you all later.
Everyone out there, have a great day.
Tool on the pip.
Now, what's the word of wisdom from Rosie today?
I don't know because my computer's gone burr and it's all of my quotes are on my computer.
Oh no!
Oh
No. Okay,
I can just hear
I'll
a
just go with
snort
a
bubble
random
come
thing.
out your nose.
A random thing
Yes.
then. Don't drink and drive. You might spill some.
All right, everyone. Catch you next time.